There's not a chance in heaven, hell, or the Milky Way that Donald Trump will understand the underlying reasons of the proxy war in Ukraine. It's absolutely impossible. And nobody in the Trump 2.0 circles or outside, or even if Jeffrey Sachs had 5 minutes face to face, nobody can explain that. He will never, first of all, he will never understand all the undercurrents and the backstory. And second, even if he did, he will never admit it, because he would have to admit that the war launched by the US by proxy using Ukraine and using NATO is a humiliating failure and defeat.
Pepe's blunt assessment cuts to the bone. Proxy wars are great at hiding costs until the bill lands on the kitchen table. Right now, Russian units are still edging toward Pokrovsk despite staggering casualties. It's a reminder that real outcomes are shaped not in press briefings but on the battlefield. And if the U.S. wants an off-ramp, it has to admit it missed the exit 2 years ago.
So then we have 50 days, 12 days, and it's always about him. 10 days, 15 days, 1 hour, 1 minute. This is beyond, it doesn't even qualify as bullshit coming from the president of a so-called superpower, So the problem is media, social media, international media, independent media. Nobody can stop paying attention to every stupidity vociferated by Trump. So this controls the news cycle everywhere. And we are just here regurgitating what he regurgitated in the first place. It's a completely toxic cycle, and nobody can escape from it.
We all feel that hamster wheel effect. Outrage gets more clicks than nuance, so every stray remark is monetized before it's even fact-checked. The result, a politics built for a primetime drama, not policy making.
We should be talking about what's really happening on the ground in Ukraine now. Pokrovsk, the Russian advance, what Lavrov always says, the war will be decided on the battlefield, but we can't. We have to talk about 5 minute deal, one day deadline, 50 seconds headline, whatever. Look, beats me. Sorry. Yeah. I had to spell it out because I think all of us were all fed up with this.
Fatigue can be clarifying. When ego eclipses strategy, think Suez 56, the damage lingers for decades. Leaders who treat geopolitics like branding exercises usually leave someone else holding the repair bill. And speaking of repair bills, let me step away for a moment. If you've ever been hurt in an accident, you know the real pain often starts after the hospital. Endless forms, insurance runarounds, and settlement offers that barely cover the bills. That's why I keep an eye on Morgan & Morgan. They're the largest injury law firm in America, more than 1,000 attorneys, over 500,000 clients served, and get this, more than $25 billion recovered so far. One Florida family was offered $350,000. Morgan & Morgan took the case to trial and won $12 million. It shows what having the right legal team can do. The best part? You don't pay unless they win for you. It takes about 60 seconds to get started. You can start your claim right here by scanning the QR code on screen with your phone's camera or clicking the link in the description. Just answer a few quick questions and their team handles the rest while you focus on getting better. So if you're ever injured and need backup, you can check out Morgan & Morgan, because in a fight against insurance giants, it helps to have the biggest legal army on your side. Now back to the madness on the world stage.
In the beginning, let's say during the first months of 45 days, Trump 2.0, there were circles in Moscow entertaining the possibility of a Yalta 2.0, and that would be Putin, Xi, and Trump. Now this resurfaced a little bit because Putin is going to Beijing on September 3rd for the Chinese commemorations of the end of the Second World War. So he will be in Beijing.
A Putin-Xi meeting on VJ Day isn't just optics, it's a message. A message that the world's future alliances may no longer run through Washington. Refusing to show up for fear of being second fiddle only confirms that fear.
So there were some rumors that Trump might go. If that happened, that would be Yalta 2.0. But Trump would never admit to have a Yalta 2.0 on Chinese territory and hosted by Xi Jinping. It has to be him, preferably in American-dominated land, and he will be the host, and he'll be the MC. So if that happened in Beijing, he would be just a participant.
Diplomacy is grown-up group work. When your attendance depends on being the loudest voice in the room, others stop inviting you altogether. That's how nations drift from relevance, one no-show at a time.
So this is not going to happen. The Russians are open, really, for a Yalta 2.0. They always were since the start of Trump 2.0. But they know that it's not going to happen. When they saw Trump's, I would say, a childish temper tantrum of the past 6 months, we cannot trust a character like that. It's impossible. Too volatile, too childish, totally unprepared to discuss in-depth geopolitical and geoeconomic, for that matter, issues. Non-agreement capable, which our friend Lavrov would immediately remark. Trump is non-agreement capable.
Trust is the currency of global influence. If partners believe every deal can be reversed on a whim, they hedge their bets, often toward rivals, and rebuilding trust is a far longer game than breaking it.
As long as he gets this art of I screw you deal that he just got with the European Union. It was not a deal. He went to the European Union, he imposed 4 big issues, and the Europeans just said, yes, master, we will obey you. That's it. This is his version of the art of the deal. And he tries to steal deals from other people. I'll just give you the latest example today. Before talking to you guys, I was writing my column for Sputnik on Thailand, Cambodia. My home in Southeast Asia and my neighbors. I've been following them since the mid-1990s. Do you know who broke the ceasefire between Thailand and Cambodia a few hours ago in Malaysia? The Prime Minister of Malaysia, Anwar Ibrahim.
What happened in Malaysia is old-school diplomacy done right, a calm leader, no theatrics, and results that matter. ASEAN still shows the value of regional ownership. While the West makes headlines, others make deals.
And guess who yesterday was saying, I called Thailand, I called Cambodia, and we're going to have a deal. I broke the deal, but this is first my deal, and then we're going to talk about tariffs. The circus ringmaster. The next day, the Malaysians very quietly, before the start of the meeting this morning in Putrajaya. Putrajaya is linked to Kuala Lumpur. It's a kind of modern cyber capital of Malaysia. The foreign ministry said, look, we are the chair of ASEAN this year, 2025, so we should lead. What happened a few hours later? You have the photo now everywhere of the representatives of Thailand and Cambodia shaking their hands with Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim in the middle.
That photo op may not trend on social media, but it signals something deeper: regional agency. When small nations act collectively, it becomes harder for big powers to dictate terms through divide and rule.
He brokered the deal in person. He's the head of ASEAN this year. So it's ASEAN's business and Malaysia's business. And Malaysia is a BRICS partner. Thailand is a BRICS partner. This war, as I talked to my Thai friends and my Thai sources this past few days, many of them were saying, we are floored. It's absolutely unbelievable that we have a war at the heart of ASEAN. And our feeling is that there's an external actor pushing for escalation all the time. And the Thais are very circumspect. They're extremely diplomatic. But when they see a rat, they call it a rat. So the reasons for the war are multiple. I include this in my column because there's even a family angle that only if you live in Thailand and you connect with Thailand, you know, which is the Thaksin Shinawatra family, former Prime Minister of Thailand, and family in Cambodia, former also Prime Minister, ex-Khmer Rouge, former Prime Minister, etc. So there's a family clash. There's a oil and geopolitics angle that nobody was talking about. And of course, there is a divide and rule because the Americans are still extremely powerful in Thailand. And the CIA, for instance, has what it takes to start any sort of divide and rule in Thailand. When the last time I left Bangkok before going to Russia and then the BRICS in Rio, I was talking this with my Thai friends, and they were saying, it's going to get worse.
It's often those on the ground who sense the tectonic shifts before policymakers do. These quiet whispers in Bangkok or Phnom Penh tell us more about instability than any official press release ever could.
There's going to be something here. Just like that. This mini war that nobody can explain explodes out of nowhere. So, this tells you and our audience how this dementia across the West is overspilling all over the planet. And that's what we all have to be extremely about 24/7.
Escalation is no longer an exception. It's the norm. From Baku to the South China Sea, the risk is that one misstep snowballs into something irreversible. This isn't paranoia, it's pattern recognition.
The list of hot spots all across the global South now is growing literally week after week. We have, without even counting Africa, for instance, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Somalia, what they're going to come up with in the Alliance of Sahel States, or in South America, where the big focus now is Brazil because of the 50% tariffs against Brazil. If we look at Eurasia, there are 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different hotspots now at the same time, exploding at the same time. It's completely crazy, and it's going to get much worse. It will involve the Senkaku Islands in Japan sooner or later. It will involve a provocation in the South China Sea sooner or later. It's already evolving in the Azerbaijan front. Azerbaijan is playing not a triple game, probably a quadruple game against Russia and Iran at the same time. Extremely dangerous. The Russians know what's going on. The Iranians as well. The Iranians are already alerting. Look, if it goes on like this, we're going to have to intervene. So that mafia in Baku, the Aliyev gangster mafia, allied with the oil mafia, which is controlled by BP, British Petroleum, they're going no holds barred to destabilize that region against Russia and China.
Resource corridors have always invited conflict. From Suez to the Caspian, whoever controls the pipeline often controls the narrative. BP's hand in this region isn't new. It's just the old empire model in a new frontier.
So we see these hotspots multiplying themselves all the time. That Indian-Pakistan war is not solved. And sooner rather than later, we have a war inside ASEAN, which are a bunch of extremely peaceful people for the past few decades. They were trying to put that organism together to be credible. Their main theme is called ASEAN centrality. This means we are central to all these 10 members. Everything that happens, we sit on the table and we discuss among ourselves. And we have divide and rule empire of chaos, breaking the table, just like that. And it's easy for them to do it. Larry, did you know that they are building a gigantic American embassy in Chiang Mai, northern Thailand, right on the borders of China, Laos, Myanmar, and Thailand?
Pepe's whirlwind tour leaves no doubt this is a world on edge. The sheer number of open flashpoints means diplomacy is no longer optional, it's urgent. If cooler heads don't prevail soon, we risk watching the post-war order unravel in real time. That's not fear-mongering, it's a sober read of the map.